The third type of cash flow is the perpetuity. A perpetuity is like an annuity in that each of the payments occur at the end of the period and each of the payments are equal. However, unlike an annuity, there's not a future value. So in the home mortgage example, the future value of the annuity was 0. Or if we're trying to accumulate X amount of dollars at some point in the future, that would be the future amount. With a perpetuity, we assume that the cash flows go on indefinitely, forever, so we do not have a future value. If a perpetuity pays an annual cash flow of CF, starting 1 year from now, the present value of the cash flow stream is simply the cash flow divided by the discount rate. And this is our easiest formula we're going to have all semester long. So the present value of a perpetuity is simply the cash flow divided by the interest rate. And you may ask, where do we get a series of cash flows that occur forever? An example of that would be a company stock that was paying a dividend. Because in theory, a company doesn't have a set life. It could go on indefinitely. Although in practice, companies will either cease to exist or be acquired by another firm. But the idea of a perpetuity is useful for valuation purposes. There's also certain types of bond, for example a British Consul bond that pays regular interest payments on a principal amount, but it never repays the principal, so that interest payments go on indefinitely. So let's work an example. Ross Clark wishes to endow a chair at his university, at his alma mater. The university indicated that it requires $200,000 per year to support the chair, and the endowment would earn 10% per year. To determine the amount Ross must give to the university to fund the chair, we must determine the present value of a $200,000 perpetuity discounted at 10%, so it would simply be the cash flow divided by the discount rate. So the amount of the endowment would have to be $2 million. By the way, as an aside, all graduates of University of Texas at Arlington should endeavor to endow a chair in finance. So let's compare the present value of a perpetuity to an annuity. How much more is a perpetuity of $1,000 worth than an annuity of the same amount for 20 years? Assume a 10% interest rate and cash flows occur at the end of each period. So, well, for the perpetuity, the present value of that perpetuity is going to be equal to the $1,000 cash flow divided by the 10% interest rate, or $10,000. And we can go to Excel or a financial calculator to calculate the present value of the annuity. So in Excel we can put in the $1,000 amount of the payment for the annuity, the 10% interest rate, and a 0 present value. So payment, the interest rate, the present value, and our N of 20 years. And we can calculate the present value in Excel. That's equal to present value. The interest rate here we can see is the first. So the interest rate followed by the number of periods followed by the payment. And we want to calculate the present value, so we don't need to do that. So we can just stop at this point. So the value of the annuity is $8,013.56. And the present value of that annuity, as we saw from our Excel spreadsheet, was $8,513.56. So we take the difference, 10,000 minus, so we take the difference between the present value of the perpetuity, $10,000, the present value of the annuity, $8,513.56, which equals $1,486.44.